You're so much better.
Do that one.
My name's Giulia. I'm a psychologist from the University of Sheffield, Department of Psychology.
Hello and welcome to an extra special, exciting Copper Chats video. We are in Sheffield and this is Dr. Jules. I just really wanted to learn more about the research that this lovely lady's been doing. We've had loads of coverage all over the place, haven't we? You've been interviewed lots, I've been interviewed lots, and I just really wanted to meet you to get to know who you are. And well, I've got a ton of questions.
Great.
And yes, we just hopped on a train. I've got Steph with me, she's behind the camera, and we hopped on a train, and here we are. Do you experience ASMR?
Yes, so I've experienced ASMR for as long as I can remember, since I was really small, and I've always thought that I was the only person to experience it. So I thought it was a sort of a weird feeling that I had that nobody else had. And I remember telling my sister and asking her if she experienced it, and she just said no.
She said no.
She said that's very strange, and so I never told anybody else. Again, that I had it, but I used to watch videos on YouTube before, ASMR videos, to try and find people that.
Wow, you were really self-aware then.
Yeah, and I used to go and so I had some people, some of my friends' girlfriends were quite triggering, so I used to chat to them quite a lot and go and get like makeovers and stuff like that to try and experience it. So just trying to seek it out.
That's amazing. Because some people I've heard, we on the very first meetup in 2013 was the first conversation really that I'd had that just went on about it, and that was amazing. And there were a few people in that group that said, I thought that there was something wrong with me.
Yeah, a lot of people said.
And also I thought that if I got it then it was bad, so I didn't want to get it.
That's
so
sweet.
Yeah, I know. So you knew that it was a good thing. You didn't know, but you didn't mind.
No, I didn't feel ashamed of it. I guess.
And you enjoyed it, so you looked for it. That's really good.
Yeah, because I wanted to experience it, I guess. But it's interesting because I've obviously spoken to quite a lot of people about ASMR now, and I think, I don't know if you've experienced this, there's usually like 3 reactions to it. So either people know exactly what you're talking about and they go, oh wow, I didn't know that was wow, I've had that forever, and they can talk about examples from their life, or and they think that maybe they were the only person who has experienced it, or you get people who think that everyone has it, so they're really surprised that other people don't experience it. And then you get people who maybe don't experience it, but they do experience things like music induced chills, and they think maybe it's similar to that. But yeah, definitely people who think that everybody experiences it, and they're like, what, some people don't experience that, or they just think, oh, I'm weird and it's just me. But I remember once, probably the worst example was I got ASMR when I was being asked about a credit card in a bank.
Did you sign up for it?
Yeah, because I wanted to keep her talking, so I signed up for the credit card, and then I had to cancel the credit card. But she was really relaxed, and it was all the form filling. And it was great.
So my next question is, what are your earliest memories of your ASMR experience?
Probably my mum sort of tickling my back, friends playing with my hair at school, getting plaits and stuff like that, teachers explaining stuff, when a teacher sort of leans over and explains, maybe writes on your work or something like that.
Where did you grow up?
So I grew up, so I spent my first 2 years in Italy, and then we moved to Singapore for 5 years because of my dad's job. So I actually didn't grow up in the UK, so I miss all the references of people when they talk about TV shows. Because I wasn't here, so they're like, oh, this show, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't here.
And then where did you move to when you moved to England?
Cambridge.
Oh, Cambridge is nice.
Yeah, Cambridge is really nice.
Yeah.
But I've been in Sheffield for probably longer than I've been in Cambridge now, so...
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here up north for quite a long time.
How did you discover that others experience it, and how did you discover the videos on YouTube?
This is a good question. So it was 2013, and I was at a conference, and there was this talk, and the talk was really boring. It wasn't very good, but the woman who was presenting was very ASMR-like. So I was great. For me, it was a great talk because I was just feeling so relaxed the whole time. And then I was talking with my colleague who had gone to the conference with, and we were talking about the talk, and I said, "Oh yeah, but her voice just made me feel all relaxed and tingly." And then my friend just said, "Oh, that sounds like this weird thing that I heard somebody talking about on the radios, ASMR."
On the radio?
On the radio or on TV or on something, about folding sheets or ironing being relaxing.
Oh,
something
Maria's
like that.
telephone.
Yeah, I think, it must be something like that. And I was like, oh, wow. And then so I Googled it, and when I got home from the I Googled it, and I just watched videos on YouTube all night.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. I've never
Yeah.
felt anything like it. So I was...
Because it's really intense, isn't it, through the videos?
Yeah, it's the first time you watch an ASMR video that is really triggering, more so than what you might experience in daily life, because it's intentionally supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
The experience is just so intense,
Yeah.
and it's never been that intense since, but that was a great evening. An overload of ASMR, so it was great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And what year was that? Sorry, did you
I
say?
think that was 2013, so
Okay.
yeah, it was like a while back.
Right, so I discovered the videos, I think it was November 2012,
Yeah.
so it was about the same time.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. What is your educational background, and what led you to start researching ASMR?
So educational background feels like a CV.
Did your interview?
So I actually started off. I did medicine for a year, and then I dropped out because I was like, oh, I don't want to be a doctor.
Yeah. Lots of people do, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's really difficult. It's emotionally very difficult. I
Yeah.
think.
My brother's a doctor, and
Is he?
and the amount of people that dropped out of the course in the first week.
Yeah, I just felt like I didn't belong after about 6 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I did psychology and philosophy undergrad, and then I did my master's, and then I did my PhD all at Sheffield. And then since then I've been working as a researcher in York and in Sheffield.
Wow.
So yeah.
And what led you to begin researching ASMR?
Well, so it was when I found out that it was something that other people experienced, and it had a name, and there was all this content on YouTube, and I thought, oh, well, somebody must have done some research on it.
Yeah.
So I was searching for research on ASMR, and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
And then the more I spoke to people about it, the more I realised, I guess, that a lot of people who don't experience it find it really hard to believe. And so I thought, what would it take to convince somebody who doesn't have ASMR that it's not something that we're all making up? And I thought, well, if nobody's doing any research on it, I might as well do it.
Yeah.
So we started doing this research in 2014.
Yeah.
And it took so long to get published, years. So we'd collected all the data and analysed it, but it just took so long to actually get it out and published. So I guess the point of our research is that we could have been proved wrong.
Yeah.
So it could have been the case that we found no differences in physiology or anything like that between people who say they have ASMR and people who don't, in which case there would be no kind of backup for it. So that's the thing about science, I guess, is that you can always be proved wrong, which is not like why we do it. We want to be proved wrong or right.
Yeah.
They're so ASMR as well, they're so nice.
So what has your research focused on up to now? The nitty gritty of what you've been doing. We will talk about that later, because you're going to show me the study, aren't you? Which is great.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
So what we've been looking at, we've done 2 studies. We did a big online experiment with about 1,000 people, and we asked them to watch YouTube videos, some of which were ASMR videos, some of which were not. So we picked, we had quite a few sound-only ASMR videos, because obviously there's a distinction between sound-only and then spoken.
Yeah.
So we had sound-only videos, spoken videos, and what we call control videos. So these are non-ASMR videos, but that have some characteristics of an ASMR video. So it might be somebody explaining how to do something, but it's not in an ASMR style. And we asked people to watch these videos and to tell us how they were feeling after watching them. So feelings like calmness, relaxation, excitement, feelings of social connection with other people. That's something that we asked about and we were really interested in. And we asked people whether they had ASMR or not, and what their kind of common triggers were and things like that. And what we found there was that people who have ASMR show significant increases in feelings of calmness and relaxation compared to people who don't.
Okay.
And that ASMR responses are stronger to spoken videos on average than to sound-only videos, which is very interesting, because I've often wondered whether there's an element of having a multi-sensory experience. So, for example, the visual experience of somebody's hands with the sound of their voice is more triggering than one on its own.
Yeah. So for instance, if I was making a role play, like a facial or something, and I'm actually doing the action of the facial scrub and the sound is there, I always feel the need to explain
the visual
at the same time. So I feel the need to say something at the same time, or at least make some kind of a mouth sound, or just to incorporate the whole thing.
Yeah, because it is a lot more triggering when there's multiple things going on.
Yeah, it feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But then there are people that comment saying, "Oh, I wish you didn't speak, because I just want to see and hear the sounds of it. And when you speak, it distracts me from that." So everyone has different.
That's true. I guess you probably have a lot more insight than me into people's individual experiences. So I've spoken to quite a lot of people who have ASMR. Probably not as many as you, but and it's interesting to hear about the commonalities and the experiments, but also the differences. So some people seem to have really, really intense ASMR reactions, which almost you think, wow, I wish I could experience like that. But I remember one woman, an example that really stands out, one woman telling me about how she used to miss her tube stop. Because she would be watching somebody put their makeup on the tube, and she'd be so mesmerised that she was literally glued to the seat, and she couldn't move. And for me, that's really, that's quite an intense experience. So there are variations among ASMR, people who have ASMR anyway. But the second study that we did, which is probably the most exciting one for us, was on a smaller number of people, so about 100 people, half of which had ASMR and half of which didn't. And we asked people who had ASMR to select a video that was triggering for them. So maybe just select one of your videos, or one of their favourite ASMR artist. And we asked them to to let us know what that was, and to abstain from watching ASMR videos for about 3 days before. So we said, you can't watch any ASMR videos before you come into the lab. And we brought them in. We asked them to watch their video, a standard ASMR video. So that was a video that we just showed everybody. It was exactly the same. It's actually Maria folding towels. Great video. And then a control video. So this was a non-ASMR video, but that had some characteristics of an ASMR.
So what would the non-ASMR video have been, for instance?
So the video that we used was one from the first study, which was the most neutral, so it didn't affect people's emotions as much. And it was a man demonstrating how to make pasta. So potentially that could be quite an ASMR type video, the moving of the things and instructional with flour and things, but it wasn't in an ASMR style.
Okay, interesting.
So in that sense, it's similar to an ASMR video, because it's instructional in the same way as you've got Maria folding towels and you've got somebody demonstrating how to make pasta. Potentially they're quite similar in terms of content, but the experience of them is quite different. And we also had a period where they just kind of sat there and did nothing, and we measured their physiology as well. So what we did was we got people into the lab, and we, as I'll show you later, wired them up to some physiological equipment which measured things like their heart rate. and their skin conductance, which is a measure of the sweating of your skin. And I'll explain all of that to you later, and we can maybe plug you up.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, so that's exciting. And what we found was that people who experienced ASMR showed significant reductions in their heart rate when they watched ASMR videos. So this kind of supports this idea that ASMR is something that's relaxing, and not only is it people saying, "Oh, this is making me feel relaxed," but their bodies are also telling us that they're feeling relaxed. Yeah. And what's really exciting is the fact that the reductions that we got in terms of magnitude, so it was 3.41 beats per minute reduction, they're comparable to other techniques of stress reduction for heart, cardiovascular disease, and mindfulness. So it's not only that we got this reduction, but the amount that we got is comparable to other forms of kind of therapy. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, so this is really exciting and really interesting for me, because since the last 2 years I've been trying to develop live in-person ASMR. Wow. So I didn't start off by touching people. Yeah. The very first thing I've done is stage an audience, and the audience is in headphones, but I'm literally there. So I'm going through a meditation, flipping the pages of the book that I'm reading it from, making sounds into the microphone, and we've got sounds overlaid and we've got visuals behind me. So it's more like a meditation experience, but I'm introducing ASMR sounds into that, and then we've got the excitement of having a meet up and that kind of thing.
That's amazing.
So that was the first thing, and it's been amazing. The first one, I tried it at the South Bank Centre the year before last, and then last year, London, we did 150 people in a theatre, and in October we were San Francisco.
No way!
Yeah, in a theatre.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then next week, it's going to be in New York.
No way! That's amazing.
Yeah. Wow. And then after that, it's going to be more of a hands-on type of a thing. Like what you do, like spa treatments or something. Yeah, kind of, but more ASMR focused.
I'd pay for that. I genuinely would pay for that.
So I think it's really, really important that we have as much research as possible, because then, first of all, people can then speak to their families about it and say, this is what I experience. These are the videos that I watch to induce it, and the next thing that they can say is, this is what it does to me and why.
I think this was one of the motivations certainly behind doing the research, was that, is to convince people, or to legitimise it as an experience, to say, it is a real experience, and it's something that lots of people experience, and it's not so niche now that YouTubers kind of come along, and it's now quite mainstream, and everyone has a word to describe this feeling. So I really wanted to be able to say to people, it's something that's real, and for people who have ASMR to not feel, ashamed of the experience. And actually, it's something that is beneficial for so many people.
That's it. It's so much more than just feeling something. It's so much more than just a sensation. There's so much that comes along with it.
Yeah.
So much.
And it's great because now people can start talking about it and realising that they're not on their own. Yeah. I think when I realised that I wasn't on my own, it was like, wow.
I was really excited when I learned that your study was called More Than a Feeling, because my blog was called More Than a Feeling. And when you said that, when you used that, I realised then that you saw it the same way that I do.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting.
Yeah. So I didn't realise that your blog was called that until I typed it in to see if the paper had been published, and then your blog came up, and I was like, I can't believe that was the name of your blog. Yeah. So that title was from the song, that's how in my head that was what it was. Yeah. Because it is more than a feeling.
Exactly. Do you have any future plans for your ASMR research? What happens next?
So we've got loads of ideas about what sorts of things we might want to do and what we could do. And one thing that we're really keen to do is to get people who are starting to research ASMR, who might be interested in researching ASMR and who come from maybe different perspectives, together to meet, to discuss what are the key things that we would like to know, and to maybe try and collaborate on things, rather than having lots of different pockets of people researching ASMR. So we'd really like to come together. So we're working on trying to get a bit of funding to arrange that.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing next.
And who funds these kind of research?
Research, yeah.
Who funds these kind of research
Things.
Let me say that again. Where does the funding come from for this kind of research?
I guess it could come from lots of different places. So research councils, places like that, university funding, different places. So we would be probably looking to apply for some funding, maybe at the Wellcome Trust, which is a charity.
Okay. So would you say that this country's a good place to do this kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Because we've got access to the research, to the money to do it.
Yeah. And we just need people who are interested in doing it.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant for you all to collaborate and do this together.
Yeah.
A little bit of competition is fun because it means that you are, who's going to get published and all of that, but it's kind of too important to bring it down to that. And with something so niche, there are so many people who are interested in this and so many people watching. And everybody who is interested really cares about it. So I think, for you all to work together and all have this common interest, that's what it's all about anyway. It's all about community. And I'd really love for you to look into the community aspect and the togetherness and the different personality types of experiences. Cause
we did look at that.
Did you?
So we did look at it, and what we found was, it was really difficult to tell, because what we found was that people who don't experience ASMR were more conscientious and more agreeable.
Right.
But we think that that's because the kind of people that would do an online survey into ASMR and just volunteer to do it are maybe more likely to just be like nicer, more conscientious people.
Right.
So it's just like a volunteering effect rather than actually saying anything about ASMR. So we'd only really be able to tell if we got like a random sample and a representative sample of the population and then looked at it. So that was something.
So would you put people through a personality test to find out what they're... I want to say that I'm really grateful for your research. I'm really happy that it's come out, and that from going forward I believe that we'll get more funding, and we'll be able to get to some of the nitty-gritty areas of what this is all about. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this lovely interview. Thanks for the tea. We have to outro with our...
Pro.
And that has been Copper Chats with Giulia at Sheffield University. Thank you for watching.
Thanks. That was really fun.
Right, what would you like me to do?
So, if you want to search and find a video that you know is going to trigger your ASMR.
Okay. Want some caps. Okay, I'm going to go for Blue Whisper, the Medicinal Stickers Clinic.
Okay, so we'll just pause that to start with.
Okay.
Okay, and so now we'll put on the physiological measures. Okay, so we're measuring. First of all, this is respiration rate, so how fast you're breathing.
Okay.
So if you stand up, you hold this kind of just here at the bottom of your rib cage, like sternum there.
Under the bra.
Yeah. So, but you know where the bit where it kind of goes like that?
Yeah.
Like when your ribs get that bit.
Okay, so when you sit down, it should feel a bit tighter, but not too uncomfortable.
Okay, yep.
Does that feel okay?
Yep.
And then if you hold out your left hand with your palm facing up. So this one is your heart rate, like your pulse. And again, that should feel, you can feel it, but it's not too tight.
Yeah.
And then this one is, these two are your skin conductance.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is kind of like a measure of how sweaty it is, but a kind of like a physiological arousal. So if you're like slightly, most like emotions when you experience them, you get kind of a sweaty palms feeling, and that's what this is measuring.
Okay.
Does that feel okay?
Yeah, that's
okay.
lovely.
So now if you just keep your left arm as still as possible, and you can start watching the video, and we'll record your physiological responses.
Okay.
Yeah, so your heart rate, that was like insane. Your heart rate dropped 10 points in 3 minutes. So you went from 83 beats per minute to 73 beats per minute. You're now at 71 beats per minute. 70. So you've gone, your heart rate just went.
Did it carry on?
It literally, like, I've never seen anything like that. That was amazing. It's going down, 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 down. So it's going up a little bit now. But yeah, it went down like a lot. So in our study we found like an average decrease of like 3 beats per minute, and yours went down like 10.
10?
Yeah, in 3 minutes.
Wow.
But you might have started off at a more excited level than most of our participants. But yeah, that's so cool.
Look at it again.
That was really fun. That was really fun to see. Yeah, Tom, do you want to? You can explain it.
Yeah. So the orange one here is your skin conductance, which is that kind of sweatiness. The green is temperature, but we're not recording that. That's just like the room temperature. This is your heart rate, yeah. And then the purple one is your respiration, so your breathing. And then this one calculates the heart rate variability?
Yeah. But that's your heart rate currently, so it's at 74. So you started off at like 83 when we first started. And you can see like sometimes like if you laughed or something, then your skin conductance would probably go up. It might be a bit delayed, and then it would and then it's soaring. So that's how you can see sort of real time changes in physiology according to emotional states, which is quite exciting.
That's cool,
You can
isn't it?
see it. I mean, we wouldn't normally be sitting and watching somebody's physiology while they're doing this. So actually, I haven't done this with anybody who experiences ASMR real time, watching their physiology just going.
Yeah.
We just know from an average.
Well, and interesting that they have done music chill studies where they've done that and like tried to find which bits of the piece of music make people feel the chills.
Yeah.
So it'd be so interesting to do an ASMR
At
study
which
like
point
that.
in the video?
Because I don't know, personally when I'm watching an ASMR video, I'm not like at constant maximum tingles the whole way through. You know, it comes and goes in certain bits, I'll just get it like really strongly. So it'd be really interesting to see, you know, across a group of people, which are the bits about the video that are the real like triggers.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So your skin conductance has gone up quite a lot since we've been talking. So it was about 4 during the video, so which suggests that maybe you're more excited now and less relaxed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. It's cool to see, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I'd like to see is how far it goes down when no one's in the room. So now we're going to do the experiment again with no one else in the room and see how far the heart rate goes down.
So you started when you started, because before I left it was at like 120, but probably because you were quite like because you were excited about watching ASMR artists, and you're now down to 70.83. So you went down like a lot. So like I can't even work the maths out. Like 20, 50 beats. You went down.
I was falling. I was almost asleep.
So that is like a real-time example of, you know, under not the best scientific conditions, but your skin, your heart rate, no, your skin conductance is quite high though. Look, which would replicate with yeah. So basically, you have replicated what we found in our study.
Wow.
In real time.
Yeah.
That's great. For ASMR participants. But one thing that's interesting is that it's not like our non-ASMR participants, their heart rates went up. So it's people, I think there's a trend towards it being relaxing for people who don't experience ASMR. So even if you don't experience ASMR, you might find the videos relaxing. So it's just that people who have ASMR, it's like
it went down more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did get a trend towards it going down.
Wow.
Did you experience tingling when you were watching that?
Yeah, just down here.
Yeah.
And just really sleepy.
So if you were doing the actual experiment for real, we would ask you about whether you experienced tingling during the video, and then we'd ask you about your emotional states, so things like your feelings of connection with other people, how calm you felt, things like that. So, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then you do that again so that would be your self-selected video, and then you'd watch Maria.
Yeah.
And then you would watch our control video, which I think Tom was keen to show you. So
I'd love to see the control one.
Because this was probably one of the most challenging things actually, was to try and find the control videos, because a lot of people suggested like things that they were like, oh, what about like an unboxing video? And like, yeah, that's quite an ASMR inducing thing. So it was quite difficult to find stuff that was quite neutral, but kind of like ASMR, but not. Yeah. So we found this challenging.
So it could be accidental ASMR, but it's actually not really.
Well, no, because we tried to get stuff that wasn't even accidental ASMR. So we tried to, because if you're comparing something to something that might induce ASMR, it's not a great test. So because we experienced ASMR, we were testing out the videos, the control would be like, do we think we could get ASMR to this, or
but
not?
At the same time, you still want it similar, because say we just got you to watch 3 minutes of like an action film with lots of explosions and stuff going on. Well, people might say, oh well, clearly that's like really exciting, so of course you're going to feel relaxed watching an ASMR video. So we tried to get videos that were similar, like on the face of it, to ASMR ones, but were clearly just for some reason not. So this is the one that we found that we like the best, which is, it's similar to ASMR video because it's filmed from the same perspective. It's someone doing something with their hands, explaining something, but you'll hopefully find that it's not ASMR-y at all.
Okay.
Or at least definitely less ASMR-y than what you've just watched. You might want to turn the volume down.
It just looks awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just flicking it everywhere, and it's
But watching it, could you see? Does it make sense as a video that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not an ASMR. It's not an ASMR video, but it's similar in content.
Yeah, you chose the right video.
Focused on the hands, but then he's very different to the way that an ASMR.
Oh, totally.
It's flower going
it's got elements. It's got the voiceover, the people doing things, but it's just not the right way.
But you just know it's not an ASMR video. You just know. Yeah. But I mean, looking at that without the sound, if it was slower, and if it was with a soft-spoken voice and less clumsy, it could be an ASMR video.
Yep.
Oh, I'm glad that's good that you think that is, because this is harder than getting an ASMR video. But I've always been, whenever I was a kid, I used to love. I used to fall asleep listening to stories and all of those kinds of things. Like I used to listen to like tapes and.
Yeah, I used to fall asleep to the Goon Show, to old tapes of the Goon Show, and they're quite loud.
Oh my god.
Because they would do all the Foley and the banging on things and that, but I don't know, it was the voices in the background.
It's relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're always, and like I love listening to like radio and stuff. I used to listen
Yeah.
to radio before, like.
Yeah, I had the Adam and Joe show
Oh, what's that?
on. Oh, it's not relaxing really.
Oh, is it not?
But it's just you know Adam and Joe, don't you? Their radio podcast. And I just had that on in the background. But then the jingle would come in every now and again, but it didn't bother me, it was just the sound.
Most people say the shipping forecast.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's
Yeah.
quite ASMR-y in a way,
Yeah.
or at least very relaxing.
Yeah.
One day I remember, God, I was driving, so I used to commute to York, and I was driving, and there was this one radio station I got, and there was this this Greek radio. I really like Greek accent, and it was quite bad because I would get so sleepy while I was driving. So I have often wondered whether that, because that's always really early in the morning, isn't it? Whether that causes accidents. People drive up the road. That's the thing that I think some people who don't get it, don't realise that ASMR isn't just YouTube. So the feeling existed before people had a term for it.
Yeah, so nearly every interview that I do, they say, how do you suggest that someone would experience ASMR properly? And what they mean is, how would you prepare to watch a video? Because they don't understand that it's not about the video. The video isn't ASMR, it's the feeling that's the ASMR, and the video is there to induce it. So I find myself explaining that in every single interview, because I say, well, first of all, it's the feeling, and then
it's just a way to tap into the feeling.
So many people come round to interview, and they'll say they'll learn that as they're with me. They didn't even learn that in their research.
The difficulty with asking the question is that some people might experience it but not know that it's called ASMR, or find it difficult to recognise themselves. So you ask someone on the street, "Oh, do you experience ASMR?" Like, no. Or do you experience like brain tingles? No.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh,
do you like
sometimes
it when
like people are whispering to you, like you feel a kind of a bit of a shiver?" Oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it depends how you explain it.
And then I think a lot of people think that it's like the sensation that, you know, when you get a haircut and it feels a bit, but it is, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
You have to explain a whole range of things because people experience it in different ways.
Yeah,
so you can say,
exactly.
"Do you like it when people play with you?" "Oh, I hate it when people play with my hair." "Do you like it when people?" "Oh yeah, I love that."
Yeah.
Because I get this feeling. Okay.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about the experience, I think, is the fact that it's like a touch sensation being triggered by something that isn't touch.
Yeah.
So that is.
Yeah, in maybe synesthesia as well.
Yeah.
So how many ASMR people are synesthesic?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, but
Sounds like it. And what other things are they sensitive to?
Yeah.
Are they sensitive to light? Yeah. Are they sensitive to touch?
Then you get interesting questions as well, like oh, do people who are deaf experience ASMR?
Oh, it's such a good
In the
question.
same way.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
A lot of it is to do with like sound, but then it's not just sound, because there's the hand movements.
Do you have any? I said, ask if you've got any deaf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question, Tom.
Yes.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant.